You could have been in theaters, you could have been relaxing on a Friday night, but you decided to watch Omnibros Live instead. And
Mhm.
that's what counts. So, welcome everybody to a rain check episode. We couldn't do one last Wednesday, but we're here now, Friday night. Not much to do, but to answer some questions and hang out and talk some geek talk, I guess. Welcome everybody to another installment. Geo here, and I am joined by Comics Guide 101, or just Comics Guide. How you doing, buddy?
Hey man, how's it going?
Doing okay. I had a rough couple of hours, or actually a rough 24 hours, which
Oh,
was I had a really bad sore throat all throughout yesterday and today, but I'm feeling much better now. So I'm excited to chat with everybody.
oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. And for somebody that works on radio, your voice that's your job. So
Yes.
yeah.
So it was a blessing in disguise when we couldn't do the episode on Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. I'd rather just stay silent. And but I'm much better now.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
Shout out to the chat as always. Just finished watching Madagascar. There you go. I'd rather watch Madagascar than a certain movie that's out right now in theaters. I'm just gonna say that much. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't get mad, gang. I'm just joking.
Hey, those Madagascar movies, they're genuinely pretty fun. I
The
like them.
first one was a lot of fun. I don't like
Yeah.
the rest, but the first one was good.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I like the penguins. I'll be honest with you. I like the penguins.
Yeah.
The Penguins of Madagascar was actually a pretty fun movie.
They're the breakout hits, and they had their own TV show and their own video games as well for the Game Boy Advance, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DreamWorks is kind of interesting because it seems like they have a bunch of duds. Then every few years they really strike it hot with one property and they mine that into the ground and then they get another hit.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of hits, let me remind you that this episode, before I forget, this episode is sponsored by the wonderful people at InStockTrades.com. That's IST, as the folks likes to say. It's basically your home for all things collected editions, whether it be an omnibus, hardcover, trade paperback, absolute box set, manga, whatever it may be when it comes to collected editions. You got to go to In Stock Trades, man. That's where it's at. Up to 50% off. Some books right now are up to 60%, I think. Lots of cool deals every week. And if you are a loyal customer, you get an extra 2% week after week. And of course, if you order $50 or more in said order, you get free shipping. On top of that, you get fantastic packaging, bomb-proof, or, well, crap, I shouldn't say bomb-proof, but whatever, I said it. And wonderful customer service. That's InStockTrades.com. And since we're plugging stuff, why don't you tell everybody about the Patreon? We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, man. So this Saturday, Gabe and I will be
That's
doing a
right.
Patreon hangout. That's tomorrow. We're
Yep.
gonna be doing the Patreon hangout tomorrow, Saturday night at 8 o'clock. So what that is in the description down below. There is a link. If you follow that link, there is our Patreon. For $5 a month, you get an exclusive once a month hangout with Gabe and I, where we shoot the shit and we get to talk about just about anything. It's a lot more free form, and on
No
top of that,
filters.
it's huh?
No filters.
No filters. And
Nice.
on top of that, it's not just you in the chat. You actually are in on the conversation. So you will get a Zoom link or a link to the conversation. You'll be able to join us and you can shoot us any questions. You can talk with us and we just have a great time. It usually goes for about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours. And honestly, we have a good time every single time we do it. We've had a lot of great fans and a lot of great guests that have popped up on the show. And Gabe and I just have a good time. So $5 a month gets you that. And on top of that, you get the archive of all the ones that we've already done. We are probably closing in, I want to say, on a year now, or must be getting close to it. So there's quite a few videos there and a lot of exclusive content that is there. So for the price of a cup of coffee, you help Gabe and I out, and you also get more content.
Nice. That's awesome. Here's a question from our buddy James. Lou, did you see the Elden Ring gameplay preview?
Oh my god. Oh my god, Gio.
It looks
You,
good.
oh my god. You know how much of a Souls game. Well, I don't know if you know this, but I'm a huge Soulsborne fan. I
I
love
think
those
you've
games.
mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely man, I love those games. And Elden Ring looks amazing. I cannot wait.
Nice. I did see the collector's edition. I can share that real quick because I thought it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Um, Elden Ring collector's edition. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I entered the wrong link. Damn it. All right. Elden Ring collector's edition. That game comes out in February or March, or when is that coming out?
I believe February, unless it was pushed back, but
Hmm.
I believe it was around that time.
Uh, oh, I'm not gonna play this stupid video. I'm gonna share the link because that's what we do. I'm not gonna get copyright. Because there's a bunch of editions coming out, but I enjoy the statues, even though I don't know if I'm gonna play the game or not. But it looks really cool.
The thing is, I have the digital PS5,
Yeah,
so unless this comes with a digital code, I'm gonna be losing money on it.
you could buy this, keep the book and the statue, and sell the rest
That's tempting. That is so tempting. I want that whole packet. That looks really cool.
for $260. So essentially, the game's 70, and the rest you get the Art of Elden Ring, the Steel Book, nice box, digital soundtrack. That's lame,
Mm.
and the game. Cool.
That
I
is,
like this statue. That looks awesome.
that is very tempting.
Uh, yeah. So there's that. Mega Mind. Is that the Will Ferrell and Brad Pitt movie?
Uh-huh.
With the I don't know. I need to rewatch that. I saw it once and kind of didn't dig it. I
You
know a
know,
lot of people like it, but I don't know.
You know which one I really enjoyed? They actually just dropped a trailer for it for the sequel. I think it was today or the last two or like 2 days ago. Sing. I actually like the first Sing movie.
I haven't seen it.
It's fun. It's pretty
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, I can't answer this. None of these two establishments are not
Mm.
in my area, but Luke can chime in. In and Out or Whataburger?
I have only had of those two. I've only had Whataburger, and as somebody who was raised a good chunk of my life in Texas, damn it, do I miss Whataburger a lot. I loved Whataburger.
Nice. Here's our question from our buddy Phil. Lou and Geo, I'm in the market for a tablet. Which is the best for comics? I have a very old iPod Air
Wow.
that is still kicking and looks great. But I know that technology has come a long way since the Air 2, I think, which was probably in. When did Thor Dark World come out?
2014,
14?
13, something like that.
around because I remember getting that tablet, and then a couple months later, either the movie or the Blu-ray came out. One of the two. It's
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been a while, and it's still my preferred method to read digital stuff, not on a PC or a laptop. So I would suggest the latest iPad without the because mine has a huge bezel, which looks ridiculous compared to the new stuff. But the new ones, they look amazing, super colorful.
Yeah.
I would recommend that if you can own it, if you can, if you have the budget for it. Sorry.
Yeah, I have I currently am using an old Samsung tablet, but that thing's like 10 years old at this point, so it's on its way out. It's really slow. None of the apps almost update for it anymore. The only thing I use it for is to read.
Yeah,
But I am looking forward to actually that's what I asked for Christmas this year. I'm like I want a tablet. Give me I could use an iPad Air. It doesn't have to be the fancy model or anything like that because literally that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just reading with it.
yeah.
So I would go with that if you can.
There you go. Oh, thank you, Phil. Awesome shirt. I'm glad you're not the random dude that's giving super chats for shirts. Thank you. I said I would not do it if the super chat has to be for like $20 or something crazy like that. I'm not gonna do it for $5.
Hey,
Hey, Lou and Geo saw Eternals. It was good, impressively good.
mhm,
And the post-credit scene will get people talking. I'm not gonna go to see it. I'm not gonna watch it in theaters. I'm not going to
mhm,
theaters anytime soon. So
mhm.
I went ahead and spoiled myself and read the whole plot summary of the film, and I know what happens, and I'm
Okay.
okay with that because I wasn't really too excited for it anyways.
Hmm.
The coolest thing about it, from what I read, is that the two post-credit scenes. Those I cannot wait to see. They sound
Yeah.
amazing.
So I know what those two post credit scenes are just because I didn't read I wasn't like you where I read the whole plot of it, but
Yeah,
I had heard really the biggest thing about this is the two post credit scenes. So I was like, okay, well, let me just it's not gonna kill me if I hear what that is.
yeah.
Can we speak freely about it?
Ooh.
Because we both know what it
So,
is.
yeah, but the chat, I don't think the chat's gonna vibe with that.
Can we put a spoiler tag up?
All
Because I'm
right,
curious.
chat. I'm gonna put a spoiler tag. Look, look, look. I'm gonna play fair, so I don't want people upset. Eternals spoilers. Save. Okay.
There we go.
All right. Let me do it again. Eternals movie spoilers. Make it extra easier for people to oh, look at that! Look at that! Ox me Pete. Nope. Bye.
All right, hey man,
What a
I get it. I get it.
do it. All right. So,
Okay.
Oxmeat Pete, thank you so much. You can come back. If you see the little tag gone, then we're
Mm-hmm.
back to normal. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't want anything spoiled, leave now. That's all right.
Yeah.
Hit the like button though, and then come back later and watch this part. But we're not going to take more than 10 minutes on this, honestly.
Yeah. 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 It's gonna
So
be
I,
fun.
again, I'm stalling to give you guys enough time to back out if you don't want the post-credit scenes ruined on Eternals.
Yeah.
All right, you've been warned. Don't get mad.
So
So
there's two of them.
yes,
There is two of them. The arguably the bigger one is the one involving so last chance to get out before I'll give you guys another second. The arguably the bigger one I think is the one involving Harry Styles.
yeah,
Harry Styles has been rumored to be in the MCU for a while now, but we didn't know exactly what it was or who he was going to be. We now have confirmation that he's playing Eros in the MCU.
yep.
And if you look online, you could actually find the post credit scene. He's playing Eros in the MCU, which, if you know your Marvel history, Eros is actually Thanos' brother.
Hmm.
So it's kind of interesting that they're going that route. I'm curious as to what they're going to do with that character. And honestly, if you're going to pick a guy that is basically the god of love, because that's what Eros is, and the god of sex, basically, I would imagine Harry Styles is probably a good choice for that
Got a huge
character.
fan base, yeah,
Yeah.
online.
So that was the big thing that everybody's been talking about. Everybody's been going crazy because Harry Styles is in it. I'm more curious as to when he shows up. I think most people are gonna go, okay, that's cool, that's Harry Styles, but who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is Eros?
I already saw some YouTubers that reviewed the movie, and they had no idea what was happening with all these characters.
Yeah,
And it's funny because for the longest time, the cosmic side of things was kind of forgotten. And even the hardcore Marvel readers were not checking out the cosmic stuff. So, what a coincidence that this also translates to the movie side of things, where not everybody's super thrilled about
yeah,
um, the Eternals and Eros and another character that shows up,
yeah.
which is Pip.
Pip played by Patton Oswalt.
That I did not see coming. That was awesome.
I kind of wish I had that surprise because I love Patton Oswalt. I love his
Yeah.
stand up, and I think he's hilarious. And there's a small part of me when I read that I was like, ah, damn it, I would have actually have liked that.
So, what I've read online essentially is that the three remaining Eternals that you stick around with,
Yeah,
some stay on Earth, others are going to space to look for other Eternals, I guess. And Eros and his assistant Pip show up and offer their help in finding their lost brothers and sisters.
yeah,
What I find interesting is that Thanos is already gone, and these are two characters: Eros, who has an alias as Star Fox,
hmm,
and Pip were crucial for the Infinity Watch and
yeah,
Infinity Gauntlet storylines.
yeah,
So I was a little bit bummed out when the Infinity Saga for Marvel Cinematic Universe ended, and we didn't get that stuff. It wasn't super needed because I think the movies handled it pretty well.
hmm,
Also, Pip is heavily involved with Adam Warlock, so now I'm thinking Pip is going to have a bigger role when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out.
yeah.
Because we talked how he's going to finally show up with what's his face playing him. I'm forgetting his name. The one actor from Black Mirror and shoot and the
Oh, yeah,
s-
he was in Meet the Marshalls. I can't remember his
yes,
name. Like
yes,
everybody's amazed. Like, yo, that dude got hot. Like he got amazingly good looking in the last few years or something.
yeah. He was in
Um,
the Choose Your Own Adventure episode, right, from Black Mirror.
yeah. He's been in a couple of things. He was in Midsommar. He's a great actor.
There you go.
He's a really good actor.
So I think that is really cool. And I mean, if you have arrows now, you're confirming what you already knew about when it comes to Marvel Comics. That Thanos
Hmm.
has that lineage of being a what do you call it? An Eternal, right? That's what I'm getting at.
Thanos, to my knowledge,
Or a
Thanos
deviant.
is an eternal. No, he's an eternal, isn't he?
He's in a whatever he is.
Yeah,
He's
I
probably
was
one of
forget.
the two. But I
I was
think
forgetting that.
yeah, I think
Gabe
it's
would
an
know.
Eternal.
Gabe would definitely know if he was here.
But
Um,
he doesn't look like the rest, and so that's going to be. I don't know how to feel about these characters exploring aspects of them without somebody like Thanos, which was kind of integral to the whole thing. I don't know. They'll probably tweak stuff around, and it'll make sense.
yeah. Well,
Um,
they're always changing things from the comics because
yeah.
Thanos originally in the comics had a hard on for the living embodiment of death. That was what Thanos that was the whole Infinity thing where but they
Now he
changed
had
it
a
around.
hard on for balance,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
created one thing for another.
So, I mean, I personally I don't think they're going to go the whole Eros is Thanos' brother route. They might hint at it or anything like that.
Or he
I
might
don't.
mention it in passing or something like that.
Yeah, but I think that might be a bit of a stretch unless it's like, yeah, he was an adopted brother or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I'm actually honestly excited to see what they do with this character. I'm excited for Pip. I'm excited for Patton Oswalt playing Pip, and they could to For me, they could scrap the whole Eternals thing and just go with the post-credit stuff, and I will be perfectly happy. I think, again, I'm planning to watch this tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I think this would have been much better if this was a Disney Plus series, simply because there's a lot of characters in this thing. There's like 10, right? 10,
You
12
have
characters?
Cersei, Icarus, Kingo, Sprite, Fastos, Makari, Druid, Gilgamesh, Dane Whitman, Ajak, or however you say that, and
Hmm.
Thena. So that's 11 main characters.
I think this should have been a Disney Plus series.
That would have been nice.
6, 8 episodes, you flesh everybody out.
Yeah. But they wanted the star power and the
Mm.
cameos for Angelina Jolie, and because I think Angelina Jolie isn't in the movie that a whole ton compared to the other characters. I
Oh.
might be wrong on that. Don't sue me. And what was it? The other post credit scene
Yeah.
is Dane Whitman, was played by Kid Harrington.
Hmm.
He in the movie he shows his love interest, his treasure or whatever, and he was about to do it before a action scene or something happens, and we're left with that hanging. And at the end, he ends up opening an old chest inherited from his ancestors, which
Hmm.
contains the ebony blade.
Yeah.
And there's a voice that says, like, "Are you sure you're up for this, uh, Dane?" or something like that. And it cuts to black and it ends. So that's really cool because I had read online that we're not going to get the Black Knight at all. So I was a little
Yeah.
bit bummed out. I really wanted to see him. So
Right.
it's cool that they set that up at the end. I enjoy that.
Yeah. So, a few things about this. The Ebony Blade is extremely OP, at least in the comics. It's
Yeah.
very fucking powerful. I think, again, my experience with the Eternals is very, very small, very limited. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it has the ability to take down a Celestial, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. And the second thing about this is, do you know who does that voice?
In the movie?
Yeah, who has that
No,
mysterious voice in the background? Oh,
no,
you
no. I
don't?
have no idea.
Okay. Do you want me to ruin that? Because that's actually kind of a big thing.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. I mean, we're
It,
already spoiling stuff.
okay, so it's Mahershala Ali as Blade.
Oh,
That apparently that is actually, you don't see him, but apparently that's his voice in the background.
so he was probably there
Yeah.
because Blade doesn't have telepathic abilities, as far as I'm concerned, right?
No, 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 no. He
Okay.
apparently he's there, but you don't see him. You just hear his voice.
Oh.
And with Mobius right around the corner,
Ooh.
Morbius. I always mess that pronunciation up.
More Morbius?
Morbius, with Morbius right around the corner,
Yeah.
maybe we'll get a glimpse of him soon.
That's see, this movie is cool for all this stuff that it sets up. Like I didn't really care for the Eternals, but I'm cool for all the stuff that's about to happen because of it.
Yeah, yeah. I personally feel this is a setup film. This is they're setting up a lot of stuff. They're setting up a lot of characters that they're not just gonna. These characters aren't just gonna disappear. This is the MCU. Eventually, you'll get certain characters that'll pop back in other movies. They'll play larger roles. The next Guardians of the Galaxy is right around the corner. So who knows? Maybe some characters will pop into there as well. Especially since we're getting Adam Warlock. This feels more of an Age of Ultron where they're
Yeah.
juggling a lot of balls, they're setting things up, and we don't know the extent of what they're setting up until years down the line. I had very mixed emotions when I saw Age of Ultron, mainly because I was still riding the high off of that first Avengers film. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is gonna be awesome. In hindsight, having done my revisit of the MCU, I think it was right before Endgame because I wanted to watch everything before Endgame. I found myself loving Age of Ultron a lot more because of everything that came out of it. Because a lot of stuff popped out of that film. So we'll see what happens with this. Again still haven't seen it. I have plans to watch it tomorrow, but we'll see because 3 hours is God. Um,
If you do see it, next time we'll do an updated review on it,
Yeah.
and you can tell
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
more about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's gotten mixed reviews by critics. It's pretty much split down the line right now, where a lot of critics are saying, "Man, we really dug this," and a lot of critics are saying, "Man, we didn't love this." And those are honestly the most interesting movies to me because they lend their way for a lot of discussion.
Hmm.
Because if something is critically loved, it's like, okay, well, that was critically loved. If it's something is hated by people, then it's like, okay, well, it's generally not liked. But
Yeah.
something like this, it's kind of interesting because we don't get a lot of these where it's split almost down the middle.
Hmm.
So I am cautiously looking forward to my watch of this. Like I said on Wednesday's show, not because of Chloe Zhao or of the writing, but more of what it's going to bring to the MCU and
Yeah,
what it's going to introduce.
definitely. I'm gonna take the spoiler tag off.
Hmm.
So there you go. We're back to regular uh, Wednesday, Friday type show. A couple comments here. I'm not gonna highlight the comments just in case. But Hayden says, I think Age of Ultron is still having ripple effects on the MCU with WandaVision, etc.
Hmm.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Bast, thank you for joining.
Hey, man.
Rose Gray, I'm definitely going to need an explanation for dummies on all of this. I, unfortunately, I'm not going to theaters anytime soon, so I can't do it. But if I
Mhm.
could watch the movie, definitely we would do a whole episode on Eternals and spoil and
Yeah.
dissect the whole thing. I missed another comment here.
So what is because I know you're not going to theaters right now, but what's the movie that's gonna get you into theaters, you think, over the next year?
Uh,
Batman?
Probably, yeah,
You think Batman will be the one?
yeah. Batman and Black Adam. Is that coming out next year? I think so.
I think Black Adam is next year, yeah.
Mostly the DC stuff, actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, no, you know what? This is an interesting reversal. I am way more excited about the DC stuff that's coming out than most of the Marvel stuff that they've announced that's coming out.
I'm excited for Spider-Man. He's my favorite Marvel superhero. I
Okay,
love it, but
except that.
I don't know if I'm going to watch that now. So it'll have
Wait,
to wait.
what? You're
I
not
don't know
gonna
if I'm
watch
going to
it?
watch it now. I don't know.
Really? Dude, you're gonna get that ruined for you. Everybody's gonna be talking about that.
I will try for that. I'll make an exception and not spoil myself. We'll see what
Oh my
happens.
god.
We'll
I
see if
mean,
I'm able to uh, avoid the spoiler minefield on the internet. It's
man,
probably going to be super hard, but whatever.
I am letting you know right now. The minute tickets go on sale for that, I'm buying three, because that's an opening night movie for me. Because I
Yeah.
don't want anything ruined for me. And the second I will even go as far as to say probably a week before that movie comes out. If you are on social media, the big stuff is gonna get ruined for you.
Oh, yeah. James, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's Friday night. I'm tired. I completely forgot about this movie. Is that coming out next year? I don't know the schedule. I am so lost with movies. It's been a while since I've been to a movie theater. Uh, the upcoming Spider-Man movie has been ruined for everyone for like a year now.
Has it though? I mean, we
Mm,
know obviously they keep saying it's not happening. It's got to fucking happen at this point. They've confirmed the Sinister Six are basically in this, right? They've said the Lizard, Sandman.
Electro. They're saying that it's going to be Sinister five villains.
Is it? Because I've heard Electro, Sandman.
Electro, Sandman,
We've confirmed Doctor Ock.
Doc Ock, Green
We
Goblin.
we've pretty much confirmed Green Goblin because a lot of behind the scenes photos of his new suit came out and they look pretty fucking badass.
Yeah,
So that's four, right?
yeah.
Um, who am I missing? The
Um,
I feel like I'm missing. I'm
People
tired too.
throw the lizard around, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to be in it.
I think they've confirmed the Lizard.
Really?
Yeah, I think
So
they've
that would be
confirmed it.
five.
So we're missing one.
We're missing one, which, you know, you got to have the sixth one. It's got to be
Yeah,
the Sinister Six.
it's gonna be the Sinister Six, and it,
Unless you throw a curveball and introduce Venom as a surprise guest to
I can see
round
that.
out the Sinister Six.
I can see that.
because maybe the film is Spider-Man against five of them, and then
Yeah.
at the end Venom shows up for a tease or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that.
Yes, Oxman Pete. We traveled into the future. It's December. When is the movie coming out? Around Christmas.
I think it's Christmas Day.
So we're Christmas Day or between that or and the 31st, and we've seen the movie already, and we're back here spoiling it.
Oh my God. And I'm telling you the same thing that I've told everybody. If Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are not in this movie, nerds will burn that fucking theater to the ground if they
Oh,
are not in this movie.
they've built expectations so high for themselves that I'm scared to see the reaction if it doesn't meet that level of hype. I don't know. We'll see.
What's all right?
I
How
wish
long?
it were Scorpion, my dude. I really wish it were Scorpion. That's my favorite Spider-Man villain. I've
Yeah.
always loved Scorpion, and I really want to see the big time mechanical suit. I
Mhm.
don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see.
I'm gonna say they're in it for 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes total throughout the movie.
Probably.
Andrew and Toby.
Yeah. Hayden, watch them bring Dane DeHaan in and have a second Goblin. That's the final number. That'd be badass. Everybody would be so pissed. Speaking of, since we're on the subject of Spider-Man and the
Mhm.
Sony verse of things, I titled this episode "Deciphering Sony's Spider-Man Universe." That
Oh
is
my
the official
God.
name that Sony has named their connected movies thing that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
They've only made two movies so far. That's not within the partnership with Disney. Because if you count the Spider-Man movies, then it would be four. So we have Spider-Man: Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home or whatever. Those are collabs between Disney.
Mm-hmm.
But the standalone movies, you got the Venom movie, Venom 2, the
Mm-hmm.
upcoming Morbius, as well as in 2023 they confirmed Craven the Hunter.
Yes.
They have two additional, I'm reading off a wiki page, two additional film sets for 2023, along with several more films that are in various stages of development alongside No Way Home.
Mm.
The Morbius trailer came out. We've already seen the first one, but obviously this movie has been delayed twice because of COVID.
Yes. I think it was supposed to
And
come out last year.
it was supposed to come out last year, and then it got moved to this October, and then it got moved again for January or February.
Yeah.
Horrible months to release a movie like this, but whatever. Um, I guess they just want to throw it out there as quick as possible. Uh, huh. So,
Did it
did
get
you watch the trailer?
did it get dumped in January?
Let me check. Morbius comes out
Because if it got dumped in,
January 28th, 2022.
oh, that's not a good sign.
Nope. The movie
Oh,
was completed by June 2019.
yeah.
So
So
it's been sitting around in their computers for a while now.
so here's a little bit of a tidbit for you folks. A lot of times, now, this isn't always the case, but a lot of times when you have a movie that's dumped in January to about February, those are movies that the studios don't have a lot of faith in, and they call them dump months, where the studios have screened it, they've seen it, and they're like, yeah, we don't think this is going to do too well, so let's just dump them in January and February, just to
Yeah.
kind of get them out there. It misses the holiday season. It's not quite the summertime, so they put them there because they know probably isn't going to do that well. That said, I'm really looking forward to Morbius. This looks fun.
It looks really campy in the best way possible,
Mm-hmm.
like early 2000s action film type of thing.
Yep.
I think the movie's going to be another Venom where people are going to be split on it. Some people are going to enjoy it. Others are going to be like, nah, I didn't like it. And the critics are going to be like, nah, this sucked. But I think it's going to do well-ish in the box office
Yeah.
for a January movie.
I'm actually looking forward to this. I think it's a lot of fun. I know Jared Leto has been known to be kind of difficult to work with.
Yeah.
He's apparently very method. I fully believe he paralyzed himself and then started to try to learn how to walk again. He's that committed to the character. Um, But this, honestly, man, this Sony Sony is putting out the best mid 2000s superhero movies that we never got
Hell
right
yeah,
now. Do you
yeah.
remember
That
that?
that Daredevil era of
Yes.
2002 to 2004, golden.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Where we had, you know what? I will personally say I actually enjoyed those Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movies. They're terrible, but they're fun.
I like the first one more than the second one.
Yeah.
They're terrible movies, but I watched them in theaters, and I was just happy to see Ghost Rider when
Mm-hmm.
he does the whole thing and transforms. The
Mm-hmm.
actual effects for Ghost Rider, I thought they looked pretty cool, and I was just happy to see the character. I'm like, yeah, Ghost Rider, let's go. In that scene where he's racing the older dude in the desert for one last hoorah, and
Yeah.
he's a Ghost Rider cowboy, that was
Uh-huh.
badass. I love that.
That was a great moment. They weren't all great, but as a kid, that you guys got to remember, at that point in time, we didn't have much. We are spoiled right
Oh
now.
no, no,
We are very. We had the X-Men series, and we had the Raimi Spider-Man. He ain't no Daniel Day-Lewis, and we had the X-Men movies, the Raimi series, the Raimi Spider-Man movies, and that was it. That was
yeah,
and Blade. We had Blade. That was about
yeah,
it.
yeah. So in the trailer, people are going nuts over all the Easter eggs
Hmm.
concerning the Spider Verse. So
Hmm.
you have elements of the Raimi verse.
Yep.
There's a giant poster or image of the Sam Raimi Spider Man, and somebody graffitied like murderer or something like that, which can also allude to the whole deal with Mysterio in Spider-Man: Homecoming or
Hmm.
Far From Home or whatever home he's at. Um, but it's the Sam Raimi suit. Then the newest trailer showed the Oscorp building, and it's the same style from the Andrew Garfield universe. Uh, Adrian Toomes shows up in the movie, and it's confirmed that he will that Michael Keaton is reprising the role of Vulture in
Yes,
that
he is.
movie.
Yes, he is.
And what was the other thing that got mentioned? Oh, the Venom universe. Uh, they show the newspaper of the Daily Bugle, and it's the
Hmm.
same font and style from the Venom movies.
Hmm.
And in that paper, they're probably going to be just Easter eggs. I don't think we're going to see them, but they tease Rhino and Black Cat, which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I believe there was a tease about something Spider-Man, and they used an image from the video game. I'm not too sure.
Hmm.
I think it's gonna. So what's got people bothered is like, how are they gonna tie everything together? Because it's really obvious that Sony wants to create a Spider-Man universe
Yeah.
thing. I don't think they're going to leave the Disney side of things. They might not do movies, but I think the when they get Tom Holland back 100%, I think the character will still be in the MCU. They're
Yeah.
just not going to reference anything from the other side
Right.
because they know that they can make a lot of money if they stick around with Disney and share that branding of the MCU. So I think
Yeah.
they're just developing that pocket of a new side of things, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah. So I'm in the same boat as you. I think I keep saying this. I think at the end of this movie, this is Sony's. We're taking our ball and we're going home. We're done. We're gonna take Tom Holland Spider Man. He's gonna be just in our single films from now on. But we'll still keep relations with you if you want to have him in your big crossover movie and stuff like that with the group and with the Avengers and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll let you use him. It's fine. But for the most part, he's going to be with us. We've got a lot of stuff planned. If we're Sony, we've got a lot of stuff planned. We've got all these different solo hero movies. We've got the Venom series, which I know it's not a critical darling, but those Venom movies, they do money. They make a lot of money and they do very well.
yeah.
So
Um,
I think that's where they're going to go with.
Quickly before we get more people upset, we're gonna spoil the Venom 2 Easter, not Easter egg, the post credit scene. So
Mm-hmm.
if you haven't seen the Venom one, uh, drop out now. I don't know. It's Venom. You'll be fine. At the end of Venom, they magically, spoilers,
Yeah.
magically get transported into the MCU, and Venom sees a broadcast from J. Jonah Jameson talking about how Peter Parker is the one Spider-Man and he killed Mysterio, and then
Mm-hmm.
he licks the screen and gets super excited about Peter Parker. So Bast is saying, so was there a convergence of worlds from No Way Home? I think that may happen at the end of the movie,
That's the
where
theory.
all the Spider-Man worlds are just gonna collide or something. I don't know. It's very tricky because we can all imagine these things happening, but they will probably disappoint us and not do any of that stuff.
Well, it here's the thing with the multiple worlds thing and the multiple universes thing, that they've kind of opened a can of worms with that, and they've got to start really reining it in over the next few films and the next few TV shows, because that stuff can get out of hand, and you can start introducing more plot holes, and you can start introducing things where the audience is going to go, well, why isn't this hero here but he's there? So I think No Way Home is going to be very crucial. I think the next Doctor Strange is going to be super crucial as to how this stuff plays out.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that I'm excited for the MCU, but I'm also cautiously nervous because they've played it pretty straightforward so far in the MCU as far as multiverses and stuff like that. And now this is another thing that they're gonna have to walk through it, and we'll see how it plays out. They could end up falling on their face with this. I don't think the MCU is gonna collapse because they've got over 10 years
Yeah.
of great films under their belt. But
Hmm.
I think if it goes a little bit too awry, they might course correct and be like, okay, this was an interesting experiment, but it didn't work out for us.
I could see Sony getting ahead of itself and fumbling with their world building,
Yeah.
and it's sort of just collapsing in front of us. But we'll see. Hopefully, they are studying it well and can do a good job at it. Because if they knock it out of the park, it's going to be great for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Because
No, yeah.
now you can have a Spider-Man, because Spider-Man has such a vast roster of characters, like Batman and the X-Men, where
Hmm.
it's not just, for example, the Inhumans. As much as I love
Hmm.
them, they don't really have a ton of villains to go and fight, or the Guardians of the Galaxy, or you know what I mean. Like
Yeah, yeah,
the
I got you.
X-Men, they have hundreds and hundreds of characters to choose from and interact with the main characters. And with
Yeah.
Spider-Man, it's the same thing. He has his own little pocket side of thing of the Marvel comics, and that's what I've always wanted to see, and not just depend on, oh, this movie's just going to feature one villain, and then another one maybe we'll have two, but we can't get too greedy because, but man, wouldn't it be cool if they do Sinister Six and you see them interact in different ways? And I think you can
Hmm.
do that with Sony's, what was it called? Sony's Spider-Man universe. That's the official branding
Yeah.
for it.
Well, and the thing is, they've done Into the Spider Verse, which for me kind of primed the pump, for lack of a better saying,
Yeah,
for the whole concept of multiple universes. I could have seen them going, okay, we're going to try this with Into the Spider Verse. Let's see how audiences react to the whole multiple universe Spider Man thing. Did it work? Did it not? Okay, cool. It worked. Everybody loved it. Everybody really dug the character of Miles Morales. Let's keep going with this. All right, we're going to introduce multiple universes. I personally feel it's just a matter of fucking time before we get a live action Miles Morales. I'm going to say within the next 10 years, I can guarantee you they're going to do a live action Miles.
yeah. Um, I wanted to read something off here. Again, this is a wiki article, wiki page, so take it with a grain of salt. Additionally, Sony Pictures is developing several live-action TV series set in the same
Yeah.
shared universe of the Spider-Man universe, beginning with Silk. So I'm really excited. Silk is one of my
Hmm.
favorites.
Hmm.
Additionally, the studio released Into the Spider-Verse, which introduced the idea of a multiverse, and that is getting a sequel. So I don't know if they consider Into the Spider Verse part of the Sony's Spider Man universe. They probably do.
Yeah.
So Miles
Um,
can't be too far off. Plus, we
I
already have a tease back in Homecoming.
Yeah, and the fact is, Tom Holland's not getting any younger. I know he loves doing the character, but this fucker's still in high school, and he's starting to look like he doesn't belong in high school at this point.
I think he'll do maybe 3 more Sony movies and call it.
Yeah, and I think will they do Death of Peter Parker and then pass the torch down?
That that's how I would do it,
Yeah,
Ultimate style, and do Miles Morales,
yeah, that's
and
I
you can
would do
keep
it too.
Miles for another 3 movies, another what, like 6 or 7 years.
Hmm.
Is that the same Silk who Peter and her couldn't stop banging? Yes,
Yes,
that's the
yes,
same
that's
Silk,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
Uh,
Unfortunately,
yeah, a lot of people enjoy the Silk outfit. I'm a fan of the mummy wraps. I thought that was really cool, but
yeah.
I like the formal superhero outfit.
Was that was that slot that whole concept of because of pheromones they can't stop?
Yes, I
Oh
think
my
so. Yeah,
god,
yeah,
man.
it was wild. But it's Cindy Moon. She's a great character, and she has a great backstory and all that. So I dug it.
Yeah.
Man, I had that first issue, the her first appearance, and I know it's not worth a whole ton, but it's
Yeah.
still somewhat of a collectible. And I gave it away to a friend, and he lost the, or I think his room flooded or something happened, and it was
Uh,
trashed, and he just discarded it. I
yeah.
was so disappointed. I'm like, damn it, I could have held on to that because
Oh
I
yeah.
knew something in me was like, Silk's going to be in a live action movie one day. I do have Miles Morales' first appearance though.
Hmm.
So I'm debating whether I want to sell that or not, get it graded and all that stuff because it's going for quite a few $100.
Damn. I don't know who's going for that much.
I think it's sold listings on eBay have it for. I think I saw more than 500 for it, something
Hmm.
crazy. Um, I don't know. I've never. I'm not into the whole grading and comic book selling and all that stuff, but
Hmm.
if it's going for a lot of money and I can get it graded and he gets a solo live action movie, I might consider selling it.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Even if this multi-universe stuff doesn't pan out, they still have the MCU still has a huge trump card under their sleeve where they have the X-Men now, and they haven't introduced
Oh,
the X-Men.
you don't
So
need, yeah, you don't need an MCU. You can just do the X-Men universe and you'll be fine.
So even if, let's say, the next few films, like the multi-universe stuff, really isn't panning out, all right, we're gonna kind of scrap the idea. However, we're gonna scrap it. We still got the fucking X-Men. We have the Fantastic Four.
Yep,
So
they're
we've
good.
got quite a bit planned for the future. So buckle up, kids, because they could easily pull out 10 films from the X-Men franchise in the next few years if they wanted
Oh,
to.
that's going to be the next big movie theatrical soap operas. Calling
Yes.
them now. They're
Oh
going to
yeah.
play out like
Yeah.
action-packed soap operas.
Will we? Okay. Here's a question. Will we get Wolverine in the first one?
Hmm.
I say no. I say they
No.
tease it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could be a tease.
A post
Because
credit tease, I could see that.
yeah. I know a lot of people hate. Again, I'm not the biggest X-Men connoisseur. I know a lot of people hate the Ultimate Universe, but it'd be kind of nice to
Hmm.
have. Did you read the Ultimate X-Men, the beginning, where Wolverine is? What's the word I'm looking for? He was sent as a spy for the bad guys to infiltrate the team, and then he becomes a good guy or whatever. I don't know. You could do something like that. Make it a little
Hmm.
bit different for people.
Well, I personally would just hate to be the actor that has to follow Hugh Jackman because
Yeah.
Logan for me is easily in my top five, maybe my top three of comic book films of all time, and just that send off to that character, beautifully done. I would hate to have to be the guy that has to follow that up.
Hayden says, I'm just saying Disney's X-Men shouldn't be movies, do a big ensemble. I talked about it on these shows. My idea, make a high budget Disney Plus X-Men show, and
Hmm.
then the characters cross over into a big event, and that event is a movie that you go see. Like you do X-Men episodes, yada yada, and then they, for example, the Dark Phoenix saga or whatever,
Yeah.
that's a movie. that you go see, and then the resolution you continue watching in the TV show, because it's a huge ensemble. You could milk that sucker, and people would be glued in with all the different characters and villains and all that stuff.
I think they're gonna steer away from the Dark Phoenix stuff for a
Oh no, no, yeah, no.
for a
I
very
just threw,
long time.
yeah, I just threw that in there for as an example, but
they bombed that so hard, not once but twice.
twice.
That Disney is probably gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna shelve this. We're not gonna do. There's plenty of other stories to do.
I was so excited that because after the first attempt, I'm like, yeah, they don't do it. And then the second one messed up. I'm like, well, there goes Dark Phoenix being in the MCU. We're not going to see that again. But there's a lot of comics that you can go for adapt.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they'll probably do a proper standalone film. Maybe call it New Mutants or something. I don't know. Who knows? And then out of that standalone film, we've got Xavier's School. There's a whole bunch of mutants here. Let's do spin-off TV series out of that.
Oh yeah. Next, imagine on sort of tying everything together. That dude postulated that he thinks Patrick Stewart as Professor X may very well show up in it too as the multiverse retconning plot device.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
Stewart has pretty vehemently said he feels the character is retired. He's retired with the character. Same thing with Hugh Jackman. I doubt he'd come back to it. He seems very adamant about that.
Gifted. Oh wait, that was taken. Holy crap, my dude! That series sucked. I hated that.
Forgot about that show.
It was bad. I still can't believe they got the guy that messed up writing for the Phoenix for Last Stand to write it again, and then decided he should direct it too. Right? Here's another one. NFL dude, thank you for joining. Some eBay listings for Ultimate Comics Fallout 4 9.8 have gone for $2,000.
Jesus.
You know how much stuff I could do and get for $2,000? Sign me up for that. I have that comic, and it's still sealed because I bought it at my local comic shop when that existed in a poly bag, or not a poly bag, whatever, a poly bag, and it's still sealed. So I'm pretty damn sure it's going to be in a really nice condition and grading. And I also bought the first issue of Miles, his solo run.
Yeah.
I have the first edition comic or whatever, and there was a Sarah Pichelli variant, which I do own. And that was my very first expensive variant that I ever bought, which cost me like $50, which I thought was insane. It's still insane that you have to pay $50 for a comic that's worth $4, but whatever. That's a topic for another day. But I do have those 3 comics still in my closet, so I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
I just love that as a kid growing up, we're both Puerto Rican. I just love that as a kid growing up, we didn't get this. We didn't get, even though Miles is half Puerto Rican. And I don't know if you played the new PS5 game or not.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh,
I have a PS5, but I haven't gotten it yet.
There is so much Puerto Rican representation in that film, in the game. It's crazy. Like it genuinely made me like swell up a little bit inside. Like, yo, this is pretty fucking awesome that we're getting some fucking representation in this. So we got a little bit of hints in it in the last film. I kind of hope in the next one they throw in a little bit more of it. But as a kid growing up, we didn't get this. We had White Tiger, and he was fucking shot and killed by Brian Michael Bendis. So,
and the X-Men had like random mutants that nobody cared for. Oh, they're Puerto Rican. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, they're dead. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So this is really cool, man. This is really cool, and I'm hoping that in the next few, like I said, I think in the next 10 years that we will get eventually a live action Miles film. Everybody knows the character now. He's very popular. He's got his own fucking video game. He has his own movie. I think it's just a matter of time.
Oh, yeah. And he was already teased by Childish Gambino in Homecoming. So
yeah.
Here is another article, since we're talking about the MCU. So deciphering Sony's Spider-Man universe, I don't know how the hell they're going to do it. Good luck to them. I'm excited for Morbius though because I'm a huge fan of Morbius. Back in the Spider-Man the animated series days when he had the bloodsuckers on his hands because he
That
couldn't.
was
They couldn't. Fox didn't want to show him biting people,
yeah.
so he had to suck people, which is creepier. So good luck. I'm excited nonetheless. Morbius dope, and the transformation sequence from Jared Leto when he goes full on Morbius vampire, amazing. I love it.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
What do you think of this news article that we got? It's pretty interesting. Um, let's do this. There we go. Gael Garcia Bernal is going to star in Marvel's werewolf-focused Disney Plus MCU Halloween special. What do you think about that?
I'm in, man. I'm in. This is look, all this stuff that they're doing right now is that they are pulling. We've already done our heavy hitters. Let's kind of pull some of the more obscure characters and stuff like that. Characters that people don't know. Let's see what we can do with it. I'm actually genuinely very excited. Will it be a horror show? Is that kind of what they're going for? That's what I'm assuming since it's Halloween.
It's going to
So
be next year, yes. Early 2022 is when they begin shooting the Halloween
right.
special.
Right. And it kind of seems like they're doing the multiversal stuff, and on top of that, you've got this corner that's going to be Morbius, Blade. So we're kind of touching into the more monstery stuff of the comics side,
That's awesome.
where they haven't done before, which yeah, I agree. I think this is awesome. As a fan, I know you're a fan as well of the old school Universal monster films.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping this has a similar vibe to it, and that's what they're going with because I think that'd be really fun.
And keep in mind, Moon Knight debuted in Werewolf by Night and the
Yeah,
comics and all that stuff.
yeah. And we're
So
getting a Moon Knight series soon.
we're getting a Moon Knight series next year. This gives me hope that characters like Ghost Rider are going to be treated well because previously it was still not 100% locked in and they were going to do a Hulu Ghost Rider show. That fell through. They canceled everything, and the only show that came out on Hulu was Hellstrom, which was going to be
Mhm.
like this dark side of Marvel stuff or whatever,
Yeah,
and that failed. That was terrible. Nobody watched that show, and Ghost Rider was shelved, and everybody was sad. But now this gives me hope that they're going to revisit Ghost Rider. Uh, don't know who the writer is going to be, but I think we're going to see Ghost Rider a lot sooner than expected.
yeah. I think it would be a very massive disappointment if they don't bring Gabriel Luna back for Ghost Rider. He was great
Yeah.
in Agents of Shields. I think that'd be disappointing. I mean, who knows? The guy's doing Last of Us now, so we'll see what
Hmm.
his schedule looks like after that. I'm super excited about this. I think this is going to be a shit ton of fun. I love that Disney is now starting to pull from the darker side of the well because we've got stuff like Blade coming up. I'm
Oh, if they set up the friggin' Midnight Suns, I'm gonna
oh,
flip a table. That's gonna be dope.
the genuine Midnight Suns, not the
Yeah.
new ones that are
No,
from
no,
next
yeah, yeah,
season
yeah.
that's coming out. The real Midnight Suns. I think that'd be freaking badass, bro. I'm cautiously optimistic for again. I am very optimistic for the future of Marvel. I'm just more optimistic for what DC is doing because DC has shown more of their hand. We know a lot more stuff that they're doing in the next few years, and we've seen a lot of the stuff that they're doing in the next few years. And god damn it, do I want a trench film? Why did we not get that fucking Black Manta trench film? Because
I,
that would have been awesome.
I think Juan should have just said outright, like, studio, this is a Black Manta movie. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they were a little bit skeptical, and I would be too if you're doing a movie based on a monster from a 10-minute sequence from a movie.
Yeah.
But if you would have just pitched the idea to them like it's a Black Manta movie, maybe they would have been excited for. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the DC stuff has me excited because there's so much cool stuff that it's there that you're not going to see from the Marvel side of things,
Mm-hmm.
especially the magic side and how they can go a little bit darker,
Yeah.
edgier. Obviously, the Black Adam movie is the most, aside from Aquaman, James. The Black Adam movie is the one I'm most excited about because of the JSA element and
Yep.
those characters. Hopefully, it spins off into a JSA movie. Pretty pleased.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do the Blade movie because we've already gotten three. Well, the third one doesn't exist in my mind. Two Blade films. We've gotten two really good fucking Blade films, and they were rated R. And it wasn't a soft R. It was a very hard rated R for
Yeah.
those two films.
And you had the TV show too, which
And you had the TV show.
some people liked. I didn't
Mm-mm.
care for it.
Mm-mm. So you're gonna run into the fact that they're not going to do an R-rated. I don't think they're going to do an R-rated Blade. I just don't think they're going to cross that line. They're going to have to water it down. And as great as Mahershala Ali is, I think he's one of the best, if not the best, actor working today. I don't know what.
No, keep going, keep going.
I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off because they're going to run into that. Well, it wasn't as good as the Wesley Snipes Blade.
Yeah, a lot of comparisons are going to be made. Can they pull off gritty, hardcore action with PG-13 dialogue? Because we know America's fascination with violence, so that's not going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But with the R rating, I think you can go a little bit further. And
Yeah.
PG-13, you can only use what, 2 F-bombs in the movie or something like that.
They give you 2 fucks in a movie, and that's it. I think it's either 1 or 2. But after you use more than 1 or 2 F-bombs, you get the rated R.
We'll see. I don't know. Then again, where was it? Deadpool's going to be R-rated. A little bit. I think they're setting up Blade to interact with other properties, and that's why they're keeping it PG-13 because the other properties are not going to be R-rated. I think maybe that's their thinking. I don't know.
Yeah.
Next, Imaginaut, you wrote a whole speech, and I am so sorry. Realistically, I think Sony Spider-Verse films will continue to fall upward, no matter how terrible or eye-rollingly prolific they may be. Between the critic-proof economic strength of all.
Dude, I'm gonna disagree with you there. I fucking love the Spider-Verse, the Into the Spider-Verse stuff. So
maybe
is he talking about the grander scheme of them?
Yeah, the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Marvel's major brands and their derivatives, and how cunningly Feige and Disney have managed to train mass audiences to keep returning to the well for the formula and brand participation. I don't think you get that in Sony, so I do agree. Irrespective to any artistic value or true craft to any of these films, I think they're going to drop the ball. But
yeah,
I'm along for the ride, just as long as we get 2 things: Spider-Man versus Venom.
Yep.
Scorpion.
Yep.
What else? Norman Osborn, like a proper Norman Osborn Green Goblin, not the Willem Dafoe stuff. Give me those 3 things, and then you can crash that car and call it a day. I'm good.
I gotta say, so we're basing this off of apparently behind the scenes, the photos. I love the Green Goblin suit. I like that it looks like the older suit, but more battle worn, and you could tell it's been aged, and you could tell that there's quite a few years on that suit. There's still a part of me that's like, damn it, you couldn't fucking do like a traditional Green Goblin.
You remember the
test thing that they did? Yes, looked fucking awesome.
You could have done that for this. I think it's a new generation.
Yeah. For those of you out there, this leaked a few years ago.
We do like Willem Dafoe's Goblin. It's just the outfit. I don't know. We're going back to 2001, guys.
It's the Power Rangers outfit.
Yeah.
If for those of you out there, there is test footage of the original idea for what they were going to use for William Dafoe's Green Goblin, the mask. and it looks so fucking good. It looks genuinely like the comic. They went with the Power Ranger suit, which, you know, hey, 2000s me, fucking awesome. Me in 2020, mm,
Yeah,
it doesn't hold up that well.
this is what could have been. I'd like to think there's an alternate reality
Yeah,
where kids got to see that,
yeah.
and it's the most amazing thing of all time.
It's
But
so
we're on the
good.
timeline that did not get that suit. Instead, we
It's
got
so
the
good.
Power Rangers helmet.
I know, it's so good. It looks pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. I can't there's a part of me that's like, damn it, you couldn't have gone with that. I get why they didn't, but man, I really love that the suit for me is terrible, but it's carried by William Dafoe's just over the top and fun fucking performance.
Yeah, for sure.
You
I
can
mean,
tell
look
he
at
had a good suit.
this is perfect. Check this out. Uh, here's a little. Oh, that's too tiny. Let me zoom in. Sorry, guys. Professionals here.
Mhm.
Uh, even back then, I remember 2002. I was disappointed with that suit.
Mm.
Even back then, as a younger Geo
Mhm.
watching it, I'm like, man. I mean, that was awesome, and I loved Green Goblin, but like, and Willem Dafoe, but I didn't like this whole Power Ranger setup.
Yeah.
Give me articulation on that mouth and eyeballs.
Mhm. Which I think they realized that because again, we haven't seen the stunt. So the stunt guy that we've seen that is wearing the suit doesn't have the helmet on. He's got goggles. So I'm kind of wondering if they're just going to go the goggles route with that, and they're just going to be like, yeah, we're not doing the helmet. The helmet just does it looks too goofy for these days.
That'd be interesting. Yeah,
He's also got the purple pumpkin pouch, so I think that's pretty cool.
that's gonna be awesome.
Nice little touch.
What's the other thing? Spoonful of Brody. Thank you for joining. We talked about the Morbius trailer. Go back a little bit because we talked a whole bunch about that stuff.
Mhm. Mhm.
I think it looks dope, and I'm a Leto fan, regardless of his antics or whatever. I
Mhm.
like all of his performances, or almost all of them. So I'm excited. I think he really looks like Michael Morbius. I think it's a perfect casting choice, to be
Yep.
honest.
Yep.
So I'm excited. Hopefully, Morbius one day gets to cross over with Blade, as intended in the Blade movie with the deleted scene where Morbius shows up in rags like a mummy. Do you remember that?
That wait, what?
Morbius was supposed to show up at the end of Blade 1, and
Stop. For
he was
real?
going to be the villain for the second movie if the director would have stayed. And there's a deleted scene in the Blu ray where Blade escapes with the girl, I forgot her name,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Who's that over there?" And they're asking about somebody, and you see somebody in rags, like a mummy, and that was supposed to be Morbius.
That's awesome.
Let me see if I can find a still for it.
Wow. That is disappointing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the second Blade movie almost as much. I think maybe even more than the first Blade movie. But damn it, there's a part of me that I want to be in that universe where I could just watch that movie.
Yeah, I think it's on the. I have the DVD. That's how old I am. I still have the Blade DVD.
Wow.
This is the still frame
Oh,
from the Blu-ray or DVD or whatever, properly of Neoline Cinema. Yeah. So he shows up there looking all edgy and Matrix-like, and that was supposed to be the setup for Blade Two, which we did get a Blade Two, but with a different director.
it was Del Toro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope one day full circle and we get Morbius versus Blade somehow.
Spoonful of Brody. I am a huge Jared Leto fan, actually. I like him a lot. I think he's a great actor. I mean, I loved him in Dallas Buyers Club, Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Um,
I know. Suicide Squad gets a lot of hate. I didn't mind
that's
it.
not his fault.
It's not
That is
his. It's not. It may not be his best thing, but I
yeah.
didn't mind it. I recognize that it's not like the best Joker, but I didn't mind it.
I still hold that's not totally his fault though. That
Oh yeah,
there has been a lot of stuff that has come out in the last few years regarding that film
yeah.
and what happened behind the scenes and the editing and how that was completely how the director and like a lot of people were screwed over and stuff like that. Um,
Oh, that's right. He
so
was in Blade
yeah,
Runner. Forgot about that.
yeah, he was in Blade Runner. He had a small part in Blade Runner.
Are you gonna see the new Blade Runner anime?
No, because that
It
looks
looks
terrible.
terrible. I just saw a solicit for an art book for it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
No,
I'll
no,
just stick to the movies,
yeah,
to the
no.
real movies, not this CG thing. The other thing that I wanted to mention before we wrap up, Shin Megami Tensei 5 got glowing reviews. I was reading up on it earlier at
Yeah.
work, and I'm excited. I don't have time for a JRPG, but I'm really excited, and I
Mhm.
might pick it up, even though I'm not going to play it.
You've never played any of the Persona games, right?
Persona, yes, I've played. I have 4 and 5.
Okay, but have you played 4 and 5?
Yes, a little bit of 4, and I've played a good 40 hours of Persona 5, and I just
Ooh.
forgot to keep going.
So you are about a quarter of the way done with Persona
Yes,
5.
yeah, that's I have it here for the PlayStation 4,
Yeah, man.
and Persona 4. Don't tell anybody, but I emulated that game, and when it finally came out on Steam, you might remember last year when they made a big hubbub about it, Atlas.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
caved and bought it for cheap, so I do own legally. I do own Persona 4 as well, but I
Oh
played
shit.
it. Yeah.
I just realized I can play Persona. I've never played Persona 4. I can play Persona 4 on my new Mac. I'm pretty sure I could get that to run on this thing.
Yeah.
I could, yeah.
What's the system's requirement for that? Let me check.
Oh, this is the newest model for a Mac. That thing is so old. Persona 4 Golden is so old. It'll run this without any problem.
Persona 4 runs on a freaking calculator. 'Cause that was on PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
it
it'll
got
run
ported
that.
over multiple times.
Ooh, I might actually download that tonight on here.
Yeah, go check and see if you can play it. I have it here, but this is a PC,
Hmm.
so I can't really make that test.
I I broke into the Persona series with Persona 5,
Yeah,
and I started Persona 5. I never ended up finishing up Persona 5 proper, but I ended up picking up Royale, which is the extended edition of Persona 5 where they've got new characters. There's a whole other semester which is like an extra 30 hours of content. I sunk in. This is not my proudest moment, by the way, Gio. This was during COVID. I sunk in 211 hours into that game before I finished it.
wow.
The final clock time was 211 hours.
I
That
was
was my.
really. I got to the second the museum stuff
Mhm.
with the painter,
Yeah.
and I was really enjoying it. Something happened last year where I just stopped and I
Yeah.
forgot to keep going.
Yeah.
So I do want to go back to it, even though it's on PlayStation and not on Switch, which is a shame.
Yeah, man. It was during COVID, so we didn't have a lot going on. I wasn't in a relationship or anything like that at the time. So I said, fuck it. I'm gonna throw myself at a JRPG. I picked up Persona 5 Royale, and 211 hours later I rolled credits on it and I was like, this game was fucking amazing. It was almost perfect. I love Persona 5 Royale.
Nice.
I don't regret it.
Next, Imagine a couple of questions here, guys. Lou, to be clear, I thought the Venom films were atrocious and Enter the Spider Verse fine and even clever with its entertainment industry, creative, artistic struggles, subtext, but Morbius all but promises to be another superficially competent mediocrity at best. I agree.
Yeah, no, we're not.
I'm
We're not saying it's gonna be an Oscar movie or
yeah.
anything like that.
I just think it's going to be a fun throwback, campy vampire action movie, and
Yeah,
that's kind of what I want to see in that.
it's
It's
it's like
Morbius.
it's like I said earlier. Sony is doing the best mid 2000s superhero movies that we never saw.
Yeah. Do you think Robert Pattinson will get a Batman trilogy, or is this a one-off? Hmm. I could see them not doing anymore, but then again, there's money to be had in a trilogy, so
I, it's
that's
it's
it.
it's tough. It's tough to say. There were apparently a lot of rumors that there was a lot of behind the scenes problems with Pattinson and the director, and it's hard to say.
If it's not, I'm good. It's just a standalone adventure of young Batman, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
It has Riddler. That's all I need. He's my
Yeah.
favorite Batman villain.
Yeah, not everything needs to be a franchise these days, guys. I strongly stand by that.
But it's Batman, and DC still has that freaking hard on for Batman, and they're gonna milk that sucker. It's Batman. If it were an
I mean,
Aquaman movie, I'd get it totally. It's
I
Batman.
mean, they want to do a Joker too, but apparently the one holdup of them doing a Joker 2 is Walking Phoenix, because Walking Phoenix doesn't do franchises. That was the whole reason why he turned down Doctor Strange. People forget that.
Yeah.
Walking Phoenix was originally going to be Doctor Strange. It was not going to be Benedict Cumberbatch. But Joaquin turned it down because he didn't want to be tied down to the MCU for like the next 10 to 15 years.
Honestly, I don't think you need a Joker too at all.
No.
Because then it just turns into Batman. Because what the hell are you gonna do with a lunatic running around?
Yeah.
N-Man, I'm so sorry, N-Man. I forgot you were here. We've been on a MCU movie train hype. I guess an EC villain for an FF movie would be Namor, and then have him be an uneasy ally. Sorry, at the end of the first film. Then have Doom arrive in the second. If you do that Fantastic Four movie, don't bother with Doom at all.
No,
because they've tried twice and it's failed. One more than the other.
Yeah, no. Stay away from Doom. If anything, Doom should be a stand. I would love to see a standalone a standalone solo Doom film. They don't need to do Doom. They have so many. The Fantastic Four have so many other characters, so many other villains that they can pull from that they don't need that. Fuck it. Do Red Ghost. Do Diablo. Do Mole Man.
It's got to be Mole Man. I'm sorry for as a fan of the Fantastic Four and their legacy, it would be awesome to see Mole Man at the beginning, even if he's not the main bad guy and they just beat him and I don't know, they lock him away or something. But just having Mole Man, yes, please.
I mean, if you're you know what? I'm gonna put money on it. I bet it's gonna be Annihilus. I bet they're doing too many things with multiverses and all this other stuff and space. It has to be Annihilus has to be down the pipe somewhere, and he's got to be a big bad. And I'm gonna say this, it's gonna be a Thanos level big bad, because you can't do Annihilus and do him small scale. You just can't, because he's that big of a character.
What if you mix Annihilus with Galactus, the Annihilation Wave, the Eternals, and all that stuff? It all mixes together on the cosmic event to end, sort of like an Endgame type movie.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty badass. You can do the Guardians once again. You can do the Nova Corps. Finally introduced Nova, Richard Rider. That'd be cool.
What if they start doing that Hickman Avengers run where the convergence stuff, where the worlds start colliding into each other and everything like that? They could go that route.
Damn it! I need to just hold on a second. You just gave me a great idea. It's not going to work for the show, but I'm going to use it. Oh, what? I'm sorry, man. I didn't have to. I didn't say have Doom on the first film. Have him be in the second film with Namor. Gotcha. Don't worry about it. Danny DeVito as Mole Man.
Oh my god,
that'd be a fun idea. I'd be down for that.
That'd be so good.
But Namor's going to be in. Is he going to be in Black Panther?
Yeah, he's confirmed to be in Black Panther too.
Oh,
they're probably doing War of Atlantis.
I still prefer Aquaman. I don't care about Namor. I know he came first. Don't actually me, guys.
Yeah. Did you see they shut down production on Black Panther too?
Oh, this girl got injured, right?
Yeah.
And, they had to shut everything down because they couldn't delay it anymore because they were shooting around her, I think. But now they're like, we need to shoot the scenes, but she still hasn't recovered, so they had to shut down. Okay. Couple more questions, guys, before we wrap up because it's a little bit late. Thank you for joining, by the way. Thank you for liking and sticking with us with all our crazy paranoid talk about MCU movies and movie talk. Oxmeat Pete, you really left. I haven't seen you.
He
He
was
left
pissed.
after the Spider-Man stuff. He's like, no, I'm out. Too
I
many
think he,
spoilers.
I think he was mad. I think he was genuinely probably mad. Sorry,
I
man.
hope I hope you're not mad at us.
It's okay. But yeah, I think Annihilus has to be coming sometime soon. You gotta eventually introduce him.
Lou is Geo. If Sony can manage to make a good superhero
Inflected.
inflicted, sorry, Neo Hammer vampire film, I'll be the first to do uh, my proverbial hat to them.
He will tip his fedora to them.
Gotcha.
Gotcha, man.
James, next week you should do a video on what you'll want to see Disney announce during their big Disney Plus presentation. I didn't know that was happening. Thank you. Thank you for giving us show ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We got Marvel and those episodes. Yeah. Also, I forgot the Boba Fett trailer came out. I love it, and I am laughing my ass off because I remember a couple years ago I stated online, man, I really wish Boba Fett would survive the freaking Sarlacc pit. I'm like, nah, he sucks. You only like him because he has a cool armor, and that's all he's good for. Now, a couple years later, he has a freaking TV show.
Yeah, man.
Okay, and he's a badass mobster gang lord. I'm
Yep.
in. It looks awesome, and I'm excited. I'll be real with you guys. Mandalorian's great, but I'm more excited about the Boba Fett series than I am for Mandalorian season 3. Just putting that out there. I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of that Boba Fett show.
Are they even doing a Mandalorian season 3? Because it seems like Pedro Pascal is doing Last of Us right now.
Mandalorian season 3.
Or maybe they're waiting for him to finish that up so he could come and do Mando 3.
I think so.
Well, I mean, he's got the helmet on most of the time. And here's the thing. That first season, he wasn't under the suit that much.
Hold up. Development on a third season began late April last year, and it was officially confirmed that December. Filming began by October 2021. The season is expected to be released in 2022 on Disney Plus.
Okay. All right, so what they probably ended up doing was he's probably not under the suit that much this season.
Yeah.
And they'll just bring him in to do ADR.
Probably.
Because he's full on right now shooting Last of Us.
Yeah. Is that done? Last of Us?
No. They're going to be
know,
shooting for a
I'm
while.
going to disappoint you. I still haven't played Last of Us Part 2. And I'd love the first one. I have the first one on PlayStation 3, and I redeemed the free copy on PlayStation 4, and I've yet to play Part 2. I keep forgetting. And I don't think I've gotten spoiled by the plot.
God, you're so lucky.
Let me check, because I think I can get it for cheap on eBay, because it's an old game. More than a year, and it's already old. I love it. Yeah, I'm seeing copies sell for like $20. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. I can buy that. $20.
I would love for you. I know you're a busy dude. You've got a lot on your plate. I would love for you to sit down with it, and I would love to have a discussion with you once you finish it in terms of the story, because you not having been spoiled, I want to see what your genuine reaction of it is.
I do know one thing about one character that happens early on in the game.
Okay.
But it didn't bother me. But the rest of the story, I don't know what happens.
I mean, the game is like 2 years old. You could go ahead and say it if you know it.
Actually a year old.
Oh, okay.
That came out summer of 2020, I think.
Is it a death?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to say it because we've spoiled way too much on this episode. Oxmeat Pete's probably going to be like, I'm going to tune in at the last second to see if these bastards are done with the spoilers. No, damn it, they're spoiling Last of Us. I'm out.
Okay, yeah.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 5 seconds. Hold on.
Mm-hmm. NFL Dude said, I finished reading Pluto last night. I love the anti-war message that clearly grew from the Bush administration in the Middle East. Yeah, man. Pluto is one of the... It's very much a gateway drug for people that really aren't into manga. I think Urasawa touches on so many different themes, and I love Pluto. I've spoken about it highly on the show. I think everybody here has spoken highly of it on the show, and it's fucking great.
These are the games that I played a little bit or have not played in its entirety, and I'm gonna lose some street cred. I'm ready for it, guys.
Hmm.
God of War.
Wow.
I know. I mostly play Switch. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost of Tsushima. This I am like 20 or 30% done with the game.
So
This
good.
I'm playing on
So
the
good.
PlayStation 5. Did the upgrade. Here's my copy of Persona 5 Royal Steelbook Edition.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Immortals Phoenix Rising.
That's a fun game.
This is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've played a little bit of it on PS5 because it does have the upgrade thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
So it is registered as a PS5 game. What the hell is this? I only got it because it's Battle Chasers. I'm not gonna play it anytime soon because I love Battle Chasers and Joe Mad, and I just wanted to support him. So I got it
Yeah.
for PlayStation 4 for like $12. And this was a limit run game. Doesn't matter. The other game that what was the other one that I got? Um, I did get Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't have that here with me right now. It's in the living room. What's the other PlayStation 4 game? Damn it.
I'm waiting for a sale on Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I'll pick it up.
I was a sucker. I saw it at Walmart for like $50, and I'm like, I do have the extra cash on me,
Yeah.
and I totally forgot that we wanted to play Mario Party. And when I bought the game, literally as soon as I bought it, I'm like, son of a bitch, Mario Party. I forgot. So now I have to wait to get some funds, extra funds to buy Mario
Mm-hmm.
Party. So I'm not going to be playing that anytime soon because I do know the Omnibros kind of wanted to do that for fun.
We do.
Uh,
Did you end up picking? Have you started Dread? That is my big question.
Dread.
Metroid?
No. Here's something really funny that happened.
Geo.
I haven't. I was going to post about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I haven't put the game in because as I was frustrated and waiting for Dread to arrive, I picked a game at random from my Switch collection, and I picked the Paper Mario game from last year.
Oh,
I hadn't played that, and I started playing it, and I'm really enjoying it and loving it, minus the combat system.
yeah.
So now I'm like, I don't want to stop because then I'm not going to go back to Paper Mario. So I'm playing it every single night to finish it as quickly as possible, and then I'm going to jump into Dread, which I'm trying because that's always been my main problem playing video games. I start stuff and I just don't finish the games, and I move on to something else. So I'm trying to change that. I'm playing Paper Mario. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to pick up, start playing Dread.
Can I say that Paper Mario game is way better than it should be? It's so much fun.
I don't like the fighting mechanic, the whole circle thing.
I don't either.
By the second fight, I was already sick and tired of it.
Mhm.
But everything else, the animations and the colors and the writing and all that stuff is really fun. I enjoy it.
It's
super
so sharp.
witty.
Yeah. The writing is so sharp on that game.
Yeah.
It's so good. The Bobby, have you met him? The Bomb?
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's awesome. And the toads are hilarious. They all have something crazy to tell you.
Yep.
Which I do enjoy that. Right now I'm at Shogun Studios. Sorry, the theme park
that's
in Japan.
so good. That is so good.
I'm at that part right now.
Yeah, that's that was one of my favorites of last year.
Yeah, but Spoonful of Brody, yes, I did pick up Guardians of the Galaxy, and I should be. I'll start playing it this weekend, and get back to you on that. And I do have Ratchet and Clank. I'm also playing that. I'm halfway done with that game, so I should be finishing that soon.
A lot of fun, gorgeous game.
Paper Mario boss fights are fun, all except for the game show boss. I don't know. Game show boss from the old ones or the new one?
I'm trying to remember.
It's Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Those games are expensive though. The older Paper Mario stuff, especially N64, easily $100. Loose cartridge.
You know what? I think I'm gonna fire up Paper Mario tonight. I'm really feeling. I think I'm gonna start it again. I really love that game. So much fun.
It's coming to the Switch Online, so I'm really excited to play that again on Switch. The N64 version.
I never played it.
By the way, I heard before we wrap up,
Mm.
32 million subscribers to Switch Online expansion pack,
Wow.
which is amazing because that got a ton of hate
Yeah.
online.
Yeah.
I have a stream on my alternate channel, Gio's Arcade, where I talk a little bit about my reasoning behind the price.
Hmm.
Not the performance issues, that's separate. That's a whole nother ball game. But the price, a lot of people were upset. But I think the internet is just a very vocal minority
Hmm.
and does not reflect the reality of billions of people interested in gaming and wanting a quick pickup of N64 games on the go.
Yeah.
I'm not defending or against. I'm just stating what's out there.
So I have not done the upgrade yet for the N64 stuff.
Are you
What
gonna?
it
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
what's the negative side of it again? Why are people up in arms about? I've heard the emulation isn't that great.
The emulation has issues specifically with Ocarina of Time and Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but some areas, like the fog rendering in Ocarina and Mario Kart with um, some of the textures or something. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
It plays great for casual gamers that just want to pick up the Switch and play their favorite N64 titles.
That's me.
Yeah. But if you're into speed runs or like serious emulation and all that stuff, you're gonna pick apart everything and it's gonna be a disastrous experience.
Okay.
And the other thing that people were concerned about was the price. It wasn't a factor for me because I do play Animal Crossing, so I get the DLC for free essentially.
Hmm.
Or I pay $25 for the DLC with the extra money going towards the console emulations.
Yeah.
That's how I view it, and it's not so bothersome.
Okay.
Um, you are you going to jump into Animal Crossing again?
That's a deep hole, man, that I just don't have the time for it. My daughter, she is obsessed with Animal Crossing. She has a friend that she plays with it through Zoom almost every
Nice.
single night. And they visit each other's houses, each
That's
other's
awesome.
islands. It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. She's deep into it. And the first thing she told me yesterday when she got home yesterday was, "Oh my god, they released the 2.0 update." I'm like, "Oh, really? Cool." She goes, "Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, can I please get the DLC?" And I caved and ended up picking up the DLC. And she's playing it
Nice.
right now. Yeah, she's playing it right now. She's loving it.
I Next Wednesday, I'm gonna give you guys a tour of my island. I'll make that promise. I'll probably
Awesome.
forget, but chat, remind me, because I can hook it up and stream it for you guys, and I can show you some stuff on it.
That's awesome.
I started playing it last night. It took me a little bit to get back into the rhythm of Animal Crossing, and it's awesome. I'm gonna check out the DLC today after I'm done here because I do know you can do a bunch of stuff with the boat tours and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that, and you can see my arcade room, which has Omnibros Live in it.
that's
I
so
haven't
cool.
shown you guys that. The Lou has seen it because I shared that on our private chat, but I'm gonna
Yep.
show that off next Wednesday.
Yep.
Pretty cool. All right, gang, that's about it.
Hmm.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for all the wonderful comments and people chatting with us live on a Friday night, which is rare. That's awesome. You could have done anything else, but you spent time with us, and that means a lot.
Yeah.
Also, a big shout out to the sponsor of today's stream or tonight's stream. That's InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions, whether it's an omnibus, a manga, hardcover, trade paperback, all those Marvel movies that we talked about. Get the comics at InStockTrades.com. $50 or more gets you free shipping. We also do a gift card giveaway at the end of every month, courtesy of In Stock Trades. That's open to international waters. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging at InStockTrades.com. Also, sign up for the Patreon. That is tomorrow night, right? At 8.
Yes, the Patreon will be tomorrow night.
There you go. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. God bless. Comics Guide, where can people find you on the internet?
You guys can find me at Comics Guide 101 on Twitter and Comics Guide 101 on YouTube, where you can get an archive of videos that I have up.
Nice. Check out my channel if you can, or if you want to get some anime and manga content. That's A Week in Geekdom here on YouTube. We'll be back next Monday with hauls, previews, reads, and then all of that fun stuff that we do the following days. Thank you, everybody. See you on the next stream.
Good night,